You don't need the same mechanics to earn money in Fortnite. That might sound crazy, but this player just made earnings in solo cash cup finals with only 1 kill. No flashy edits, no piece control, just smart decisions and a game plan you can actually copy. Let me show you how he did it and how you can too. While just rotating, he gets beamed by a third party. Now, players with bad mechanics usually don't survive this situation, but he got lucky. The player above him actually gets beamed by a third party. And what's crazy is this guy, Zalen, actually looks to shoot him. If there was a third party nearby, he could have easily shot this guy. So that was a misplay, but he survived. But will he get as lucky in the next fight that happens? The next fight we see him in is not really a fight. He actually just gets beamed for 60 HP. And I guess the reason why this player didn't WQ him is because it wasn't that much. And Zalen responded quick enough. He didn't look like a complete bot. All he did was turn around, build a bit of cover, and he survives. Just because he doesn't have to use his mechanics doesn't mean he isn't aggressive. Well, I mean, with his AR. That is all he did. He shot the guy for some storm surge and rotated away, which I mean, I guess it's smart and safe. When I opened the map, I found something very strange. Look at this positioning. Absolutely nobody around him. I guess it's because the top side is definitely more dead and he's towards the center, so maybe less people have rotated in. But yeah, this definitely will help him survive longer. This next thing you want to see is a big part of how this guy is able to win without using his mechanics. It's about using his brain. Now, he does actually make a mistake in the beginning of this fight. As you can see here, he needs to rotate in. He's done well so far, but then he just stops to, I guess, look at this fight for Storm Surge. Because maybe how unaggressive he is, he knows he has to look for AR beams to get his surge. But I mean, it didn't work. But I do like this rotate. Using the trains and going inside where there's less visuals on you is a great idea, and now he can just box up in zone. I'm going to need you to comment down below if you think this next thing is luck. That fight that he was shooting at earlier, one person died, and I think he remembered that. So that is where he's going to. First of all, this is helping him go towards zone, but he knows there's loot here. See, this guy, he killed the person, and he's now rotating away. But the strange thing is, the player we're watching hadn't even known he had rotated away, so this would have been a very risky play. So maybe he got lucky here that the fact the guy wasn't just camping this loot, but he does get this loot. So again, we're seeing here getting loot refreshes without even having to use mechanics and get kills. Now, I don't just want to say this guy got lucky, but after getting all that loot, it is smart here to make his own box with his own edits. But after getting all that loot, he pulled zone. I mean, that is very lucky, and this guy must feel very blessed. But let's see what he does next. Will he get lucky, or will he do a smart play? What does he do when the best fighters is above his head? Well, this player, Focus, he's a really good fighter and he was getting pressured. So Zalen decided to join in, but nothing came of it, so he just left it and played it safe. I think this rotate is probably going to show you a lot and tell you and teach you a lot about this guy's playstyle and what maybe you can learn from it. So he has a very long rotate to make. He's stopping here because his sprint has run out, but I like what he's doing. He's building on a high layer where nobody really else can shoot him, but he can shoot them and get important Storm Surge. Because Storm Surge, you really need it. It'll kill you if you don't get it, and especially because this guy isn't getting any kills, you need to focus on Storm Surge. And this rotate, very good. He is going through the middle, but I mean, nobody's looking at him. There was loads of builds in the way, and he's using the bat quite smart. Staying on a high layer here, I really like it. It's definitely what you should be doing when you have the bat. Can you take high ground with not using many mechanics at all? Well, we're about to see how you do it. First of all, you do a little jump and just stare at the high ground player, but now watch this. I like that wall to the left, and then he knows that player has to rotate him, so he does a great job there at aiming. He might not be using his building mechanics, but he for sure has some decent aim. And now look at this, connecting himself and has high ground. At this point of the game, he still has 0 kills, which is insane, and exactly why I've made this video. He didn't have to use any fancy mechanics, Peterbot type of edits to get kills to stay in the game. No, he just has played smart, and he will continue to do that. As you can see here, he's on high ground. There's loads of players below him. They could maybe jump off and kill them, but no, they're scuffed. They're just trying to survive on low ground, and you know, the reason they're scuffed has also been a part of this guy. He's been constantly putting pressure down with the AR and having great awareness. And I like this, you know, there's a hill to his side. He's just continuing to build up, keeping his distance from these players, not making a risky play and jumping into the box. No, he does not need to do that. Storm will be soon closing. He has a bit of heal off. But now he's out of mats, shotgun out. He is keeping awareness on this opponent, trying to bait him to edit him down. Switch to his shotgun, hits the shot, and he just won. Zero mechanics. Thanks for watching, guys. And if you're trying to get better Fortnite, you should watch this video as well. Thanks, goodbye.